Okay, so it's just 4 in the afternoon. I was trying to think, when did I do the other video? I think I did that one. Maybe it was like around, maybe it was around 5 or 6. I have no idea. I swear to God, I did a video before I went to bed. I don't know. I'm really jacked up. This sleeping thing. Like, I don't know anymore. Is that, I think, I don't know. I'm exhausted. Like, it's really bad right now is because I had fallen asleep on the couch, and I swear to God, it is every time, like, I get this pushed awake and I feel like I'm still outside my body. I'll feel so out of it. But I do feel like I'm starting to like have dark circles under my eyes or something. Like, I don't know. I feel like I feel tired. I feel exhausted, but that is, I swear, just because I'm falling asleep for a second. Because I swear to God, I felt like I was fine, but I don't even know how I feel, really. Because everything feels really weird. Everything feels weird, and everything, like, everything sounds weird. Like, I don't even know how to explain how I'm experiencing it. Like, the stuff on social media and stuff. And it is weird. It's like it just gets louder. And there was helicopters all flying over here. And like, I used to jump up, and like, now it's just like, okay, are you gonna bomb us or do something? Come on, let's hurry up. What the hell are you doing? Like, it's not even getting me to go look out the window anymore. Now it's just becoming, but maybe, you know, for those of us who have been like on the edge of our seats waiting for something to happen, and now, you know, we're kind of just like, and this stuff is now going to start waking the other people up. Because I was thinking, well, surely they've got to hear about all this stuff on the news about war and all this shit. That's got to be something they're pushing on the news. And so then if you hear helicopters going over your house, then maybe you start thinking like, could that be? Like, I don't know. And things are just so weird. Like, the girl who was standing here, like, it has taken such a huge flip in her life. Like, I don't even know. Like, where it seemed like it was going so good, it went it went so horrible. And it's like, oh my gosh. Man, life is rough. Like, there's so much rough stuff and so many, oh God, I'm glad she's doing. See, after I finish this, I think I'll probably try and go back to sleep early again tonight and see. And then she only sleeps for like 2, 3, 4 hours tops. Like, I think it used to be 4, 5, 6 hours. Now it's like every couple hours. And I would assume it's just got to be her hips and her arthritis. And the whining and whining and whining, just fucking all the time. It's like wearing me out too. It's wearing my goddamn brain out. But and I'm not gonna put her to sleep, but this stuff comes into my mind, you know, where you start thinking like, man, you know, am I forcing her to stay alive in this broken body or something? And then I'm always like, you know, I'm not gonna put her to sleep. That's like murder to me. I don't want to murder her. She doesn't have a diagnosis of, you know, that she's dying. It's not like I'm putting her out of her misery. Like Winston, and it was hard, man. That was hard. And he had cancer and was dying. And this was before I knew all this stuff. I was just thinking about that today. Like, man, I wonder if I could have saved him if I would have known this and got the horse paste and stuff. But I didn't know all this stuff. And then I felt like, well, see, he was a part of my learning. But what was I going to say? So Winston and, because of the cancer. And then when the ladies came out, and the smell was so bad for so long. Oh my God. I used to just be like, oh my God, please just die tonight. Please just die tonight. This is horrible. And then all day long, it was just cleaning. And he couldn't, nothing would stay in him. And the smell was so rotten. and it would just leak out of him. And so it leaked on everything. It wouldn't matter what you put under him. It'd leak right through. A tarp, it would leak through. Like, I don't know what kind of toxic freaking stuff was coming out of him. But, but anyways, when they came out, they said, like, by the smell of it, he was, like, right where it was going to get really, really bad. Because that was when he very first started showing that he was in a lot of pain. Before that, he would be, like, uncomfortable. He'd go out and try and pee, and it, like, and there was problems. There was probably blockages and stuff. But that was a big ordeal with the vet. That's what showed me a lot of, like, oh my God, this is the same bullshit with vets. It is. I was like, of course. Why wouldn't it be? Like, duh. And, but the bullshit that I saw when he got sick. And then it was during quarantine and stuff too. And so then, but they said, did I already say that? That they said that, because of the smell, they could tell, like, oh yeah, because he was just starting to show signs of pain. That's what it was. And they said that after that, once they go into pain, they said it's horrible. It's really, really horrible. And so she said I made a good call to do it at that point. So, you know, I didn't want him to go through more and more pain. It was so tense, man. Like, to be around anybody who's so sick, slowly dying like that is fucked. And especially now, knowing, like, how much things are changing. I just saw this video of this woman, and she's all tore up. And her kid, and this may be making national news, I'm not sure, because their kid was missing or something on the, his friends all came down off the mountain, but then they didn't find him. They had to send out a search team. They found him crunched up into a tree. He had hit a tree, and his whole spine is broken, and I think they're saving. He's 15, but his back's broken, and I don't even know what all. Damn, he's got a lot of stuff. And I was just thinking, man, see, once the med beds are there, like, but then I, like, always go back to, okay, but we got to have these lessons first. Like, these lessons are the lessons that wake us up. These lessons are the ones that, like, there's a lot of profound stuff happening for the souls through the lessons. So those things have to happen. But, yeah, it's just sad. You know, I just know that all this stuff that keeps us broken and sick is, well, it's a thing of the past. We're going to move past it. And it's just so wild, too. Like, on my TikTok channel, it just keeps going and going and going, like, building and building and building. And people want to talk about it and talk about it and talk about it. And the stuff that other people are seeing, the other stuff, like, in the comments and stuff, there's a lot of stuff being shared, just like in this one. You know, I think that people start talking and sharing information or whatever. So there's a lot of communication that goes on when you give a place for people to meet. It's like a meeting room or something. And then, but it is so building up. Like, you can see the direction we're headed. And just like one of my comments was just like, you know, like I was a breath of fresh air. And then when you go on, it's just like phony, lip syncing, posing music, and then anger, division, people suck, or the world's about to end, Oh my gosh, Stella, the bus went by. But this is how it's been super intense too. It's just like, oh, and everything. It feels like super intense. Like, my whole, I don't know, my whole state of being feels like, oh, like, it has got to be so close to this changing. Like, fuck. Just when I'll feel like, you know, my body is, you know, like I would have thought it would have happened a couple days ago by how I was feeling. And then it just feels like it just gets more and more and more intense. I mean, so that's why it's got to be getting close to this, like, something happening and something switching. Man, but I just feel so bad for that girl. And then you know, she's supposed to be going back to Spokane where there would be services and stuff. Like, it doesn't make any sense to come back to my house. Like, even though it seems like the easy thing, but then what? You know? It's like, there's more where she can go and get more services and stuff. Because obviously she's going to have to figure out how to be on her own. I was just, fuck. But this is really getting people to show who they are. And then there's a whole thing too, is like all these soul stories and stuff. There's all so much more deeper stuff. Like, I don't know. Like, if I could go into different stories and, you know, make a story out of it. But, you know, there's just no way to really know anything. You know, I mean, we barely know our own stories. We barely know our own relationships, these deep relationships with people. Like, I can know, like, when I'm having certain things, like with my daughters or something, and it just seems like an impasse. Like, then it's like, okay, this is just old deep stuff. We just keep going through different lives, trying to work it out through different ways. But some of it, it's like you can't just get mad and angry and stuff. You just got to let some stuff go. And just, I don't know. This is one thing, like, that I have learned is that, because so many people think, like, you can do something to change something and make something change. And it's not like that. There's divine timing. There's destiny. Everything has a set time. You can't interfere with the time. It would set everything else off. Everything is like in motion, in perfect motion. Everyone is in that place at that exact time. There's nothing to make it different. And it always is going to go the way it's going to go. It's like, it's set. And so, but people all think like that they have some sort of control over it. And, one thing, and this is something too, because this is something I've kind of learned, is so many people think like they can jump ahead if they just try and figure it out, figure out what it is that's holding me back, and then I can jump ahead. And nothing goes that way. You're always going to learn the lessons when you learn them, exactly how you learn them, and then it's always going to lead to that time. And everything has an exact time. So you cannot force anything. You can't make anything happen just because you want it to happen. You can't speed things up or anything. And any time that you have any kind of feelings about that, those feelings are to show you what you need to work on. Like that you've got like some with impatience, or you got problem with time or dust. Like there's some misunderstanding that you have on a spiritual level that you need to come into like an understanding with. It's like, it is like union to self. That's what I think is like going on, is this union to self. Like I was just saying something that, like, I've been talking to so many people. And so many people are sending me long messages. And so my eyes, even if I try and put on the readers, I can't see that stuff still. So I try and just focus my eyes to see it, but it's super hard. Everything is like double. So anyways, and when my eyes are like this and I'm really tired and stuff, and I don't know, it's just like emotionally drained or something. Like everything just feels like kind of drained. Like, fuck, I'm just tired. But what was I going to say? And today when I went in, because I'm trying to not wash my hair right now. I'm trying to just brush it. Because obviously my hair is having a thing. It's having a problem. Which when it is totally saturating, like I had to put a lot of dry shampoo in. When it's slowly saturating, it's doing something. It's having an issue. And all I can think of is it's because this part is dry. And I can tell too when I'll brush it or comb it. And so I've been brushing it to move all this stuff down through my hair. So I'm going to do that for a couple days and really try and like condition it. Probably the aloe vera maybe is drying it out too much. It seems like everything I put on my hair, dries it out so much. And it makes me think, like, whatever they put in the shampoos and stuff, it must put a lot of coating, like a wax coating or something. I don't know. It must put something on our hair, like conditioner or something. Not the shampoo. I think the shampoo strips stuff. Huh. Yeah, that's kind of like if they, same thing like when you put on sunblock and you go out in the sun. So if they use the shampoo to strip it and then put the chemical that they want to absorb in the conditioner so that the conditioner is absorbed after the hair is stripped. So crazy too is how they would even set that up. Like, make sure to make shampoos that will strip the hair and make the follicle more open, and then put in the stuff to cause, like, it's like got fertility problems, hormone disruptors, all sorts of stuff that is caused by just fucking shampoo, just fucking makeup. Like, there's so much stuff that causes problems that people have, and see people have these problems. They go to the doctor, they don't do anything different with their diet. They go to the doctor and they ask for help, and then they get put on medications, they get diagnoses. Somebody was just asking me how I healed the Hep C. And I really think the biggest thing is not having the diagnosis, just going in and listening to my body. And any of this stuff, like I told this person, you know, especially any of the liver stuff, your liver is processing so many toxins. You've got to be doing everything you can to keep your liver clean. Don't be adding to it. And I bet you one thing, too, that all this going on is making people drink a lot more, which adds more interference in your liver. Your liver's trying to process too much. And it's probably why so many people are just getting sicker and sicker and sicker. So many people are drinking a lot and then talking about it and acting like it's no big deal, because it's just kind of like the deterioration of our society. Who cares about anything? Who cares? Did you have sex with somebody? Did you know them? Who cares? You just drunk all day? Who cares? Oh, you beat your kids up? Oh, your kids got kidnapped? Oh, who cares? It's just like, everybody's just like, whatever. And there's so much bad stuff happening. Oh my gosh. It's like, even when you go out and look at the news and stuff, or try and like see what's going on, and then the way with the people, and then you read that, and like, man, it's just getting people angrier and angrier and blaming more. And I don't know. It's weird because it's like you can't get people to understand. Like, this is that we're in a time where you yourself is supposed to be getting over your stuff so that you can deal with all people. You yourself is supposed to be able to listen to other people, to understand other people's plight, their story, or whatever, to not feel like you have any kind of say over them or judge them, or it's any of your business. You know, it's just their story is their story. And it's, you know, it's like none of your business over on the idea of telling people how to live and what to do. It's so weird too, because I had another one of these that got me today. Was it was somebody, because you get these religious people, well, you know, I'm going to pray for you, you know, you're a lost soul, you know, I hope you find Jesus and stuff like that. And it always is like so weird. At the this one, they said they always like try and direct you to religion, and, you know, hope that you can find your Lord and find the Lord and Savior. And it just hits me with the how they assume or think that their way, their path to salvation or God or creation is the only path, and yours isn't real. Oh, this person told me something about, you know, I needed to find God so I could have a relationship with them or something. It's like, how in the fucking hell do you come off telling me that I don't have a relationship with God? Like, as far as I'm concerned, I have a great relationship with God. Like, I don't know what the hell, and that's one of those, it's none of your fucking business, dude. You don't know me. It's like, fuck off. That kind of stuff really bugs me. Um, and I feel like I've been so connected to spiritual stuff for a long time. And, you know, because I always had these other beings talking to me. And so I was always like very outside the box of where everybody else, you know, finds themselves. You know, the people who tell you, well, that's not real, that's not real. And to me, you know, that is like, well, I think those were all beings, but I don't know if it's like my family. I don't even know, you know, because there is like an opening your mind to the universal consciousness. But when I was 3 years old, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't going and meditating. They were coming and speaking to me. And it was all on, you know, moral stuff. It was like, it was all, it wasn't, they didn't just tell me about moral stuff, but they would tell me, you know, they would have me look at stuff deeper, but they wouldn't tell me what to do ahead of time. But they would, but you go and do it, and then, you know, they'll talk you through it, or I swear to God, it's like a wiser person sitting and watching you mess up, and they just stand there patiently until you figure it out. They don't judge you. They don't look down on you. They just wait for you to figure it out. And so they allow you to make mistakes. They're not mad at you or stressed out or think you're an idiot. And then when you understand, like, oh, this is your journey, this is your game, this is your experience. If they were interfering and telling you stuff, like, that would be defeating your game. It's your challenges. And so they're there to help you when you want help and talk to you and stuff. And so, like, I just always had them there, but they always were telling me other things too, like about, you know, life and this place and stuff. There was like lots of stuff. I was pointing out to people when I was a kid. I would point out, and the moon was up in the sky in the middle of the day. And I would say, look, why is the moon in the sky? If the moon, isn't the moon supposed to be down like on the other side of the planet, like down by Australia? So why is it up here? How could it be down there if it's up here? And people just shrug it off. And I would always be like, and then, you know, when I would push any weird stuff, like I would notice people would just be like, you're so weird. You know, I don't want to talk about that. You're too heavy. Oh, yeah. And, you know, all the stuff going on with the copper thing. Oh, yeah, because I was going to say, because I was in there doing my hair. And when I was doing it, I was like, oh, my gosh, this is almost gone. Like, it's really starting to blend in. And always this light, like if you saw it in the other light, I swear. But anyways, you just trust me. I swear it's going to, I think it's going to be weird as it starts going away more, because it's like you're missing from the reflection. But I don't know, maybe it's just how I'm seeing it. Maybe you can see it better on the camera watching. But because it's going through different stages of color. It's deepening. And anyways, but on that thing, there's a whole bunch of people who are coming in who have been doing this. There's a bunch of people who thought, you know, I had noticed that on mine, but I thought I was going crazy. And it's like, no, this is happening. And people are all, you know, a lot of people are putting it together like, oh my gosh. When you start age reversing, the signs of aging with the whole concept, their whole thing, yeah, you really start opening your mind. You start looking at things different. And so there's a whole lot of people. And it's not just me. It's not just like wacko Kelly out there just saying wacky shit. And I mean, I've got evidence. And I've been doing it. It's not even just me. It's other people telling me, like, yeah, it's definitely going away. You know, I think I would have to be a complete moron to not be able to see this going away. And other areas of my hair are darkening. And other people are having that too. And so so I had checked with, I had sent another person a message, somebody who I know is full gray, because I'm having person after person. This is another thing. Since 2020, a whole bunch of people went real quick into white. And and I had said that about my mom sending me that picture. I was like, what? Her whole hair is like, ugh, how did it go so white? And so quick. And there was a whole bunch of people who were saying that in my comments, that their parents' hair just suddenly went white really quick. And so they wanted to do this copper thing. They wanted to try this on their parent. And, but for how many? And I was like, so there was something in this period of time since the sickness started and all of the food and all the like there's been a lot of stuff. And so something happened in there that really stripped people of minerals. Like if we had some in our foods, they took them all. Like something happened. And, so anyways, all these people, you know, are like mineral deficits, but people don't know. They just think they're sick and old and stuff like that. No, you're sick, yeah, but you are in a mineral deficit. Your body is in a weakened state. It's running on fumes. And so you know, I had told this other friend of mine, it was my, was it one of the other grandmas with shared grandchild, and I had told her, and so she's like, oh, okay, well, I'm gonna try it and see what goes down. And so then I checked with my mom. I said, are you still on top of it? And she goes, well, you know, making excuses. And so I told her, you know, don't just leave it sitting and just drink it. Just drink right from the thing. You don't have to leave it sitting. And that's like, you don't have to do it that way. You know, leave it sit in the thing. There's people that just drink right out of the copper cup. And the one lady too who did the teapot thing, or there's copper pans or something, but her pan was like $210. And so, but a copper cup is much cheaper, but copper wire. And if you do the pennies, you have to have them before 1850s because they stopped making them out of copper. So but copper wire, there's other ways to get copper. And, but anyways, the copper teapot thing. But so I told her, just drink right out of the thing. You don't have to leave it sitting. And that is a lot more to monitor if you're leaving it sitting. And so, she said that she would get on top of it again. And so then I, messaged my sister, and she got sick from it. And so she's waiting. She doesn't think, she probably doesn't have a copper deficiency, or she wouldn't be getting sick from it. She's going to go to her doctor. She's going to have blood tests done, and she'll find out if she's copper deficient. And she's been researching and finding out that most people don't have a copper deficiency, that's like not something to worry about. I was like, okay, this has been our relationship from the beginning of time. It Snopes me. It's even my own experience. I'm telling you my own experience. And it still just Snopes me. I was like, no. I'm telling you, like, that is just the way it's been. It's just the way it is. So wacky old Kelly, yeah, she's all talking all wacky stuff. Well, yeah, you can just go Google it and find out she's wacky. Like, copper deficiency. Okay. It's like, okay. Yeah, I would trust Google over your sister for sure. For sure. So, whatever. It's like I said, well, just do you. It's like, keep on trusting Western medicine, see where it gets you. You know, she's going to go to her doctor. She's going to get some lab tests. She's going to find out. I'm really excited about my appointment. It's like I keep looking at my little calendar. It's like, damn, still is like, I got to get through all this week, and then it's still a week and a half. So it's not next Wednesday. It's the next Wednesday after. A lot of shit can go down till then. like we're just on the edge. But, you know, I mean, it could go down in all sorts of ways, but still, like, bug. Seattle, and it's Capitol Hill, like, it's a hotbed. So, I don't know. We'll just see how everything goes. Right now, it seems like everything is lining up really good, you know? To me, it seems like bigger things for my own personal stuff. But littler things, like I still is like, I'll try and pick something up, something will knock it out of my hand, something I'm trying to go sleep, something will wake me up. But on bigger things, it just seems like, oh my gosh, that just all of a sudden just, I don't know, there's an energy or something. And I've heard that that is going to be, like, there's going to be this shift in the energy. And if you've been directing your energy, like focusing on not just what you want, because it's more of getting in touch with yourself. It's more of getting in touch with your, like, purpose. It's not just like, oh, well, you know what I'd really want, and I'm just going to focus on that. And because, you know, before I got my brain injury, I thought I was going in a good direction. I thought I was going on the right path and stuff. I had no idea, but I was miserable. I was fucking miserable, 100%. And, but, you know, I thought I was doing what I was supposed to be doing. Working on paying my house off, trying to have a nice place for my kids, working hard, saving up for retirement. You know, it seemed like, and then the universe, you know, ripped all that out from under me and said, don't do that. That's not the plan. And that's what I'm saying. You got to, like, there's a plan, and then there's just not a plan. So if you're just sitting there trying to direct your energy and it's not your plan, you're trying to force something that you want it to be, then it won't go. It's got to be something that is there, that is yours, and then it will all fall into place. And that's kind of like the big reveal, you know, and where you've been directing your energy. And so, yeah, it will be like a reveal. That's why I said there's a lot of these big content creators who, and some of them are doing good work, you know, spreading awareness over certain things, but they are just hyper-focused, just way too intense and way too divisive. They focus on things that create division. And this is a time of coming together and unity and expansion. And to me, it's like, if you're so hyper-focused on things that are going on in certain areas or whatever, then you aren't focusing your energy on healing or taking care of yourself, or where your energy should be focused. It's like your energy is in the wrong place at the wrong time. And so that's the part where the people are going to have to face that part of them. So it's just, it's weird, because I just see some of these people out there, especially like right now, it's just like they're getting more louder and more mad, and, you know, you stupid, you know, stupid liberals. And thank God I'm not on any of those pages and have to listen to that shit all fucking day too. Oh, you stupid MAGAs. Oh, you stupid. You know, I'm have way more patriot ones, because it's, they're way more into conspiracy theory stuff. And so they are, you know, they're the ones who talk about the island and the kitty, you know, all that stuff. Because that is the stuff that they all woke up to, because that was part of the Q and the waking up and getting people to see and realize. So that stuff is in that group. The other, you know, the more liberal side of action is more focused on, like, social programming, like what's going on at the Strip, what's going on with the trans community, what's going, like, just other stuff. So I know I'm not on some of those pages so I don't see as much of that stuff, but oh my God, I couldn't handle listening to that shit all day. So I'm sure they're just as divisive as these other ones. They just keep on being like, oh, you stupid liberals, it's all you. You're all stupid. You're all just rotten pieces of shit, and I'm great, and you're never going to be anything like me. And it's just like, I'm telling you, this stuff is getting wacky. It's like, man, just when you think, like, people are just being nasty, they're just getting nastier. And that is the part of themselves that they're going to have to see. That's the part that's going to be revealed. And there's another link, too, to this thing. It's something about the going into the Chinese letter 9 and the feng shui. I don't know. Another thing about going into this time of reflection where the things are revealed to you, where you see yourself. And I'm telling you, like, it's come to me in every different way. That is what is going to happen. That's the awakening. That's the big impact thing, is to see yourself in such a profound way. And it's an energetic thing that brings it. It's this, it's the energy. It's like going from dark to light. The dark, and it's like the dark, so much of the darkness is coming to the surface. Like, there's so much being purged out of our society and our communities and stuff. But that is what is, that's why it's kind of like bumpers up with it's coming out of the people. So this dark energy is coming out of the people, but all that dark energy is kind of purging out. And then the light is coming in, and it's just like this, like flipping, where there's just going to all of a sudden just be this like light that just flips. And that is like the awakening. It's like the truth. It's like seeing the truth. But the thing is like the truth is your own reality. It's your truth. It's like seeing, you know, who you are. Yeah, there's going to be truth on all levels, all micro, macro. But the truth that is going to be hard to get past is your own truth, your own attitude, your own energy that you were putting out, your own reasons of why you are hateful and divisive. And, you know, there's a lot of things. It's just a lot of stuff. And all those things are the parts of people. Like, it's a gift. Seriously. Like, it's going to seem like a horrible, horrible thing. But seriously, it's a gift to get to see the stuff that's hidden inside of you so you can release it. Because otherwise, like, you're just going around being an asshole. You don't even... Everybody else is like, God, what a dick. And they only say that behind your back, though. They wouldn't be honest and tell you to your face. Nobody would do that. That would be a little too vulnerable. That's like the toxic stuff that we do as a society. We don't be honest to someone's face and say what we really think. We say it behind their back. And it's, you know, and it's not to be mean. You know, that's one thing too, is it's important to not just be mean and just try and hurt people's feelings, because that's what it kind of turns into. People kind of get angry when they have to use boundaries or be vulnerable, and they like turn it on the other people. And so they'll be mad or say something rude, and, you know, like, how dare you push me to have to use my boundaries? You know, like, how rude of you. And so, I don't know, it's like, that's how much people don't want to do it. But that's how it is, like a full, well-rounded person can do it. Like, that is, you know, that's the masculine side of yourself, the dark side of yourself, the protective side of yourself. You've got to be able to set boundaries. You've got to find balance in both sides. And, you know, and then people who are heavy in their masculine have got to learn how to pull back and be more vulnerable and be more open, not be scared of their emotions, not be so protecting themselves. And so everything is about finding balance wherever you're out of balance. And so everything in the universe is bringing that to you. And it depends on how open. Because like I said, I've watched some of these people on social media with big accounts going through shit where it's like, man, you'd think this would, you know, get them to stop and reflect and stuff so that they would start getting more into the... But no, they go more into their role and keep, you know, fighting a good fight, whatever. But that is for them own selves, that they still have to see themselves. Like, there's no getting away from it. It's going to happen. And people who, I don't know, just when I hear people sit there calling other people stupid, and it's like, you're saying things that aren't true. You're sitting here saying, you know, you're so stupid because you don't think this is true and stuff like that. But it's like, but you're talking about something that's not true. Like, that's how fooled people are. They're arguing with people over lies. And so that is going to be the part that there's going to be a lot of shame, humility. Like, there's a lot of stuff that will be attached to that. And then there's always the whole thing with the soul. Like, you know, we should be able to be attached to our soul and have better insight. But, you know, like, I just saw something like Thomas, the taxi cab medium guy, that, like, he's a phony. I don't know if it's true or not. But this guy was saying, it was a question someone was asking him. And I don't know if he exposes phony channelers or mediums or something. I don't know. But somebody had asked him a question about Thomas, and he said that Thomas was a scammer, that he has a record, that he was renting back in 2007 or something, maybe. It was a while back, because people change too. But he said that he was putting in ads for rentals, and then the people would pay the deposit, and then he would steal their money, and the ad would disappear. And he got busted. And then, I don't know, you know, I mean, I do know that they do have a way to find certain characteristics in people and promote them. Like I've talked about this before. This is like how they set up our society, like a siphoning system to catch like certain criminal element to use it for their benefit or whatever. And so, I don't know. He went from getting busted to getting a show. And then this guy was saying that the people on his show, the people in the cab ride, that they are actors, it's not real. And you can look them up on IMBD or IDM, whatever that's called, IMBD or something. And so, I don't know. But it's so weird. It's just like 2 days ago, Thomas was on there on TikTok, and he was telling people to just really watch out for some of these charlatans out there that are saying they're psychic and stuff. You guys, you gotta watch out. It's like, I don't know if he is psychic. I don't even know. You can't get too invested into somebody, you know. That's why you can't hero worship or anything. You can't be like, oh no, you got, he's right or whatever. It's like, I mean, it's just, I don't know. You know, another thing too, what's going on, like all this stuff about the guy burning himself up. Like people are just freaking the fuck out about it. And then I see other people who are like, you know, this one person, she's going to town on it about, you know, they're creating a martyr, and that there's people like who are talking about on podcasts or something, like romanticizing it or something, to where there's kids that are seeming like this is a good idea, and the creation of this hopelessness, like, you know, that's all we can do. There's nothing else to do. Just start yourself on fire. That's the only answer. But to me, it's like, how do we even know that really happened? Like, they can easily create all that stuff on AI and make it seem like it's going on. And then I just have all this big stuff. Like, I don't know. It wasn't even just the towers. It's the space shuttle that really gets me. like, I know the towers for a lot of people, but the space shuttle, like, that was very devastating. It was a huge fucking thing. And they had everybody watching. Let's all tune in and watch. And then it blew up, like, in a teacher, oh my God, a civilian. And it was like so tragic. And then here all these people are just working in fucking universities. What the fuck? This world is so fucking... But what gets me is the people who play these roles. These fucking liars. Like, how do you even live with yourself? I think on Buzz Aldrin, it was really wearing on him. Like, I do. He even almost looks like he's maybe strung out on some drugs or something. I think it really got to him. Like, because, yeah, that's some bullshit. To have to lie and lie and lie and lie. Just keep lie going. But for how many people do? And I don't know, maybe they keep some sort of captured thing. You know, like, you have to stick with the story or this. Maybe that's even the people that they put on there, is people that they have stories over. because they just need the story to play out. They need the big explode. They need the trauma and all the devastation and change directions. And I'm sure they changed directions on something. I'm sure there was something went on. I remember it was fucking huge. And so I don't know. It was just one thing that I have awakened to is this place is built on fucking lie after lie after lie. Like, there's just everything. It's just so much lies. So I don't know. I just think, I mean, and of all the way, like, why would an American soldier go and just sell himself apart? Why wouldn't you just, you know, go to the media and just keep saying stuff? Like, I don't know. And the whole thing, doing the walk. And then apparently, like, this has got a whole thing going in D.C. too. And, oh, yeah, and then they've got a whole big, giant fucking thing going because this trans kid got in a fight at school. And then the trans kid ended up dying. But it's looking like maybe this, the whatever, they're doing a toxicology on the kid. They're saying it had nothing to do with this fight. And then there's all this footage of the kid in the ER and talking to the cops. It was like, this kid is the one that started the fight. The person was the one who, the one kids were talking smack. So this person took their water bottle and threw water on him. That's assault. You can't do that. You can't do that. And so once you've made the first move, that's it all comes back on you. So once she made the first move, they were free to punch her or do whatever, and they all jumped on her and started beating the snot out of her or him or whatever, this person. They're dead now. But then so it was falling back on them. They wanted to make charges, and it was coming back on them. And so then if they went home, and then it was like, fuck, they just couldn't handle it. But that's the thing, too, is we're just hurting kids by not teaching them how to love themselves. You know, this whole thing is like building yourself into stronger and more backbone and not being so fragile and falling apart. And, you know, I mean, we got way too many kids killing themselves. Like, it's an epidemic. And then way too many kids killing kids. Like, it's wild. And, you know, we got so many fucking parents killing kids. We got, like, every bad fucking Bible story you can think of is coming up. You know what I mean? All the bad things that people can do to each other. A mom to not love her own child. This one woman fucking selling her little girl. Little girl's like a fucking, was like a year and a half or something. 6 guys' DNA when they got her. And then the mom's like some druggie who was like, I thought she didn't have to sell her own self. She just, you know, yeah, you want access to her? Yeah, give me some money. Jesus Christ. It's just so much nastiness being purged out of our society. It's like, this is really hard part. Disgusting. Like the horrible things that people do to each other. But at least this is like the purging it out. Like this is, but we have to see it. You know, we have to see all this horribleness. We have to feel it and experience it. But that is what creates the change. You know, it's the people who aren't affected by horrible things don't change. That's like these people who run the world. See, this stuff doesn't affect them. They're cut off. They don't feel. They look at that like a weakness in us that we feel. Well, that's our problem. You want to feel bad for somebody. You want to feel this or that. But isn't that kind of funny? Like that they just stay alive forever. Just keep staying alive and staying alive. I don't know. Because some of those, like that one guy who just died who looked like a lizard already. So many of these guys, they look fucking so old. It's like, well, where is your newer version of your body? You're still riding around this old one? Or is the old one, like, I don't know, because I swear to God, some of these people are like 1,000 years old. Probably even older than that. Like, they're saying, I've heard people saying the Anunnaki that are like Anki, and I don't even know the brothers' names, that when they're like 30,000 years old or something, and they're saying they're coming back. That's who's coming on in on the Nibiru. That's who's, you know, coming in hot on there is Anki and whatever the other guy's name is, and that they're old as fuck, and they're coming back to tell us our truth. I don't know. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Everything is just, it is like so wild. It's like a kind of like a cartoon. It's like that fucking show that with Leonardo DiCaprio, with the whole reality is just crumbling apart. It's all falling apart. It's like the end of it. But we're going to create a whole new one. That makes me kind of curious too, as to watch that movie again. Like, what is that movie about? Is it like they're going in dreams or something? But reality is like a dream. So it's like, I don't know. But I was curious. But we are going to make a new one. So we're creating, it's like we're manifesting, just like what I was saying about the relationship or whatever. We're manifesting a new world by what we don't want in an old world. Like, and knowing what we do want is manifesting the new world. Even though it was always going to happen, you know, we're not just doing it and just coming up with it right now. No, it was always going to happen. The shift was always going to happen. It was always going to happen the exact way it's happening. Even though people are always keep saying, like, everything is changing and timelines and stuff. And I don't know, you know, if we are somehow going on to another timeline. But even if we were to go on another timeline, it would still have a way it was going to play out. And all the ways that are going to play out is always going to lead to the end. It's the rebalancing. That's on a whole nother level. That's on a cosmic, galactic level. It's the universe making moves. I mean, it just is the way it has to be. I don't know how to say it. It's like, you know, what goes up must come down. Well, I mean, is that even true? Like, I don't know. But I'm talking about in the balance of things. Things that have a certain way that they have to move. And that's what the universe is doing. There's no, well, maybe, well, if this doesn't happen, then that could, well, you don't know for sure. Well, okay, let's just see what happens then. Let's just watch it play out. Let's just see. Because I'm going to fucking argue with people. Like, I think if you're more connected to spiritual and you focus more on that instead of football and other bullshit, then you would probably see things differently. Like, but this is, it is like a set thing. It's cosmic cycles. And we're leaving out of the dark and going into the light. It's like those experiences were finished, but it's not like that there's no more that could be created. But we're going into a new time where it's going to be, you know, it's more blessed. It's more on a positive nature. It's more where things are going good. And this whole thing about us, like, not dying, like, I think this is pretty amazing to start figuring out, like, aging isn't real. Like, now there's a lot of stuff that makes more sense. It's not just the med beds. It's like us realizing, like, there's a whole more to it. That is probably why the med beds won't work on everybody. It's like you got to come to these realizations or something. Like, that you can live forever. And to me, having the aging backwards thing, like every time you go in the mirror and you have less gray, you have less signs of aging, you have less feelings of aging in your body and stuff like that. You're just like Benjamin Buttons, you're going backwards. And I swear to God, I think it's exhilarating. Like, I want everybody to get to have that experience. And then you try to tell people, it's like, well, Snopes said, you know, that's just a made-up thing. There's no copper deficiency. It's like, well, I don't know. The proof's in the pudding. Like, you know, because, you know, who knew? Well, there was a lead-in. Like, I already had seeds planted. So when it started happening to me, I wasn't in the dark. Like some of these people who have had it happen, and they're like, am I going crazy? But I already knew because I had seen, because I had even said when I had started it, I was kind of joking around. I said, okay, well, let's watch my hair and see if it starts changing colors. And I think it was like 3 or 4 days later, I was like, oh my God, my hair is changing colors. It was like really quick. And so, you know, I'm like I keep saying, like I completely see it now as we are being like drained of all our minerals, drained of everything that is good for us. And then this chemical assault to make us sick and weak. And then all these parasites. Even today when I went outside, me and Stella were outside for a little while. It's so fucking cold and it keeps snowing off and on. There's nothing sticking. It's just cold and I don't know. There's all these storms that are supposed to be going. But I was out there and I don't remember what it was. Oh, it was something. I was doing something and it was it was like something was trying to get in my eye or something. And then I just came into my head about the fog and then on the news and how much they talk about these neobots and these AI and how it's so bad and all that. And then just knowing like how they do it in old movies, like tell you this stuff when they're really doing it, but they just talk about it, but they're really doing it. And so then I was like, well, if that is what is carrying in the fog, is all of this, like, this parasite, which I think I've talked about this before, because I'm pretty sure I've already think this, but these parasites that are in the fog, but on the other level of, like, if there's something that they would do, because they want to animate people, they want to take over control of you, and so if they put all these parasites in people, then they use the frequency in order to make these parasites do something, either come together to control you or something. That's what I keep thinking. There's something about that, like zombie apocalypse thing. Something about them trying to take over a body while the soul is in it. Like, these people are just weird. They're just weird, man. But there's people, I'm sure that they can, because it's all different states of consciousness. And people who are super focused on the 3D, you know, super focused on football and getting to the game and getting a beer and stuff like that, who are oblivious to other things because they're, go from one fake thing to another. You know, I'm going to sit on Hinge or Tinder or something. Then I'm going to go on TikTok. Then I'm going to go on Instagram. Like, just go from one fake thing to another. So it's like keeping your mind distracted, keeping your mind so you don't have the awareness of self or something. Because the more that you connect to yourself, but that is like an emotional side of you. It makes a lot of people uncomfortable. They're a lot more comfortable being fake and phony. They're a lot less comfortable feeling their emotions and being real and raw. And so that is something that each person has to, develop in themselves. Oh, lady. She's laying right here by my feet. Each person has to develop that side of themselves. That's the coming into balance for yourself. has to getting your masculine and feminine in balance. And so that is what we're doing. That's what each person is doing. And so it's on all those levels of being able to heal yourself so that you can feel yourself, really, because people are just completely cut off from themselves and don't want to think about certain things or remember things that make them feel bad and stuff. But you don't realize that, like, you're holding on to something. When you do that, you're holding on to an energy. You're holding on to something that you need to let go of. It is, and that is like, those are the things that when you let go of them, that I said, you start feeling lighter. You start feeling like, wow, I was carrying around a lot of baggage. That is a burden. And, and it's like, you got to keep all your baggage straight. Like, there's people who can go deep into that and start lying, covering themselves up, covering bases, just get themselves so swept up and trying to create. It's like they're trying to create peace for themselves, but they do the opposite. They create chaos for themselves. And so it's so much better to just be real. Be real and just honest and truthful. Not try and cover up and pretend. And I don't know. People are just always hiding from something that they think is going to be so horrible. But what they do to hide from it is worse. It's better just to face it. And you don't, people just get too caught up in thinking that everybody has to like them. Like, there is literally people who stress the fuck out, thinking that, it stresses them out if somebody doesn't like them. Stresses them out to think like that somebody could be judging them or looking down on them. You can't worry about that shit. It's there, if somebody wants to waste their time and energy sitting and judging you, like, well, what a waste of time. Like, but maybe they have lessons that they're learning, and you are just, something that is playing out in their life. And maybe that is something that they can use as reflection. But if they're sitting there trying to distract themselves by telling you how to live your life and what you need to do and how you need to do it and where you need to do it and who you need to do it with, then they are distracting themselves from their own life and not taking care of their own business. And then they get focused on your business. That's something that, each person has to stop doing. And people make excuses why they need to do it for somebody, And then you got to notice for yourself, like, why are you trying to make yourself feel important in somebody else's roles? Why can't you just let them live their life? Why are you trying to control it and fix it and stuff? So, anyways, but all these things are all of our opportunities to see ourselves. So whatever you're doing in any kind of situation with the people you interact with, if you are doing that stuff, then it's going to become more clear to you so that you can see, because you're wasting your own energy that you can be working on yourself, but you're trying to fix somebody else's stuff. But it is such a distraction because everybody has stuff that they need to work on. Nobody is free and clear. And also, even if people don't have gray hair and they still have signs of aging, there's still these signs of aging that people begin to develop. And there's still nutrients and minerals that are being depleted from people. It is depleting your skin. Like, I don't even know the role of collagen, but so many people say they have so much improvement in their skin by taking collagen. And then don't forget about, like, all of the, the relaxing and rubbing the tension out of your face to release the muscles that are holding all the tension. And that, is like a reprieve from wrinkles. It's like helping the wrinkles. Like, there still may be some, but, it's helping them to become less by relaxing those muscles. And then, there's all sorts of things to do. I mean, it seems like a lot of stuff has to do with just to continue moving, continue taking care of yourself, to continue to value yourself, continue to eat right, just always. But somehow they created a period of time where people are like, oh, well, I'm getting old anyways. Who cares? I'm getting old anyways. And just don't care. So they don't care. Well, yeah, I've gained a few pounds, but that starts affecting your health. And what was it too? I was seeing today so clearly about the weight gain and with people and how and the neobots are trying to, I get this sneeze attacks all the time. So luckily that was just one sneeze, but I can feel it coming. I can feel like, feels like something moving through. I feel like it still is. Like, I don't know. I feel like there's neobots in my face. I'd rather have the microscopic neobot. I don't want any fucking full-on worms. That still is freaky. It's still freaky how many videos I've seen of the stuff, or worms coming out of people. Like, I don't know. All this stuff is so weird. I'll just be so glad, man. I just feel like it's going to be such a relief or something. I feel like there's a relief ahead. Like there's some kind of a relief we're right on the edge of. And then it's going to not feel like this tension, this weirdness. Like, I don't know. Like there will be like a peaceful, everything will make sense or something. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it keeps going. I'm getting one message after another. Like, I feel so bad for this, it's so frustrating. And I don't want to judge other people, but man, you really got to think about, you know, what you do and how you affect others. And the more that we think about other people, I don't know, there's something healthy about it. Something healthy to think about, like, in a compassionate way. Not for you to change yourself, like, well, I got to be dishonest because I'm going to hurt their feelings. So I got to be, you know, fake and phony so that they don't feel bad. Not like that. Like that is kind of like, when you're fake and phony to somebody, it's kind of like you don't believe in them enough to be able to handle it, to be able to handle the truth. So, like, you're being dishonest by pretending like you believe in them or think that they have, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of dysfunction. A lot of dysfunction in our relationships. A lot of toxic behaviors. And we've all just come to accept these toxic behaviors. But this is a time of change. This is when we start saying, like, no, I'm not going to accept that. And we need to change it. We need to be a lot more mindful of how we treat people. And, I don't know. It's just, I don't know. There's just so much sadness in this world. And I'll just be so glad when we, I don't know, when it flips. And then, I don't know how it's all going to go down. You know, I just know that it's going to flip. And when things flip, that there's going to be a lot of hard things that people are going to face. So it's still going to be traumatic, but it's still going to be going towards such a more blessed way, even though it's going to seem so hard to face yourself, so challenging. But it's like going in such a good direction. It's like letting go of things and facing things that you weren't being bothered to let go of, that you needed to let go of, because you're carrying around a burden. And that is what creates disease and sickness. And so everybody's got all this stuff that they need to release. And then the more that people really realize about what they take in and the value of the nutritional value and how important that is, it was something I was seeing earlier today. It was something about, because the feeding times. Oh, yeah, because we were out walking. And so she'll just be standing there sniffing something for 10 minutes. No, not that long, really. It's probably a minute and a half. It seems like forever. And so I'll be standing there, and I'll start thinking about stuff. And I was thinking about, I don't even remember why, something about somebody I had seen. And then, but people being overweight. Oh, yeah, because when I was at the airport, at the post office the other morning, It was like every fucking person was overweight. And then this one guy who was right in front of me, he was just like having his ailments. He's like rubbing his arm and all that stuff. And it was just like, oh my God, look what they've done to society. Like, I don't know. But the feeding times, you know, and then where people got convinced, they just kept going. Like, kept gaining weight. Well, have some snacks too. And people just kept gaining weight and gaining weight. It was like they were just going into just such a gluttony period of time and just not caring. And when you really put it together, it felt like how people used to eat. Like, it wasn't just like consume, eat as much, you know. It was different, you know. I don't even think, I mean, there's probably some times where there was people who didn't even eat for all day. Even in like old farms and stuff, like before, you know, when you couldn't just go to the grocery store and stuff. Like if there was a problem with the crops, changed your eating habits. Like we've just taken food for granted. And then people have just consumed and consumed to the point of sickness, disease. And so there's just, I don't know, there's so much to come into terms with, to start looking at different, like to be honest with yourself. You know, a lot of people are overweight and they think, well, you know, I'm just eating healthy. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. But what's your body saying? And one big thing too is about weight is you got to add in that you will hold on to weight and you will gain weight when you have emotional trauma or something you're holding on to or protecting yourself about. And so you have other things to face. When you face the other things, the weight will just start falling off. When you are facing what it is that you're holding on to it for. But everybody just comes at things from a different way when there's a more productive way to go at it. So anyways, but that is this resolution and consciousness that is occurring so that people can begin to approach things in a more productive way and can use their time more efficiently. And it changes your whole thing about being alive and living life and learning. And it's so wild too, is like, you know, I don't know, we're just going through such a transformative time for people to really start understanding that there's a purpose. There's a purpose to life. There's a reason you're here. You've got more to do than just go to work and how many things can you buy with all your paychecks? You know, it is so much deeper and so much bigger and so much more complex. And that's the exciting part, is that people are starting to understand that and realize that. And that's where things start changing. You know, how people treat each other. You know, they understand, like, that it's going to make them feel bad. Like, it's going to come back on you. If you're putting out shit and being negative and hateful, that energy will come back on you. So, you know, what do you want to go and put out? You want to go out and put out kindness and love. And pretty soon we're all out there putting out kindness and love. We just all want to have kindness and love. And then we're all just feeling the love and being happy. And so that's, you know, that's where we're headed towards. All these things are what creates it. So we've got to go through all these things. There's no getting around it. These things are what creates the beautiful world we're going into. And so, and it always has to go this way. There's no skipping it. There's no like, well, if we all sit here and we think of it real quick, then we can make it, you know, we'll skip this part. Well, it's always going to play out the way it's going to play out. And it's going to play out, you know, it's purging out certain energies. So, yeah, there's going to be violence. There's going to be a lot of stuff like that. And it's going to be purging it out. It's going to be outrageous. And we're going to be sad and disgusted. And, I mean, it's going to probably just keep getting worse and worse. And, you know, people are starting themselves on fire. Which, to me, it's like, man, I don't know. If you're not there and you're not witnessing something with your own eyes right in front of you, like, you just got to be like, fuck, I don't know. I don't know if that really, I mean, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings because I know that people get so outraged. Well, that really did happen. He really died and he was dying for a cause and all that stuff. It's like, well, were you there? Did you see it? That's what I want to know. And then even if you find somebody who did, then it's like, okay, so now are we speaking to a crisis actor or a real human being? You know what I mean? It's like, that's why some of the stuff is just like, okay, I can't put my energy in getting too caught up in this happening and that happening. All I know is a lot is happening. And all the things happening is what is propelling us into our future, is creating the change that we want in our life, in the world. The world we want is up ahead. And we're going through the things that create the world we want. So, yeah, we got to go through this part to get to that part. And, you know, just the way it is. So anyways, that's where we're at, and things are going, and it just seems like we're just right on the edge. And but of course, you know, when I have an appointment ahead, it's like, oh, I really want to get to that appointment. I want everything to just go smoothly in my life. I want to get to my appointment. I want to get my implants out, and then, yeah, fuck it, let the banks cry, let everything go. And then I'll just sit here and heal. And then once that's all done, but it's going to be chaotic. And there's going to be more and more of these instigators out just murdering, senseless murder. There's going to be a lot of senseless murder because it's a part of, and it's sad, but it is kind of like the bad people do it and use it because it creates so much more fear and division. So, you know, it's all everything that they work for. And then people buy into it. And they don't realize, like, all this stuff is set up. They're doing all this stuff on purpose. Just so you do this. So you divide and hate each other and don't even know why. And they've done it and done it and done it. Just like I said, what they did in Vietnam is just disgusting. And they've done it over and over and over again. And, I mean, they're trying to do it right here. So, and people just jump on. It's like, and then you have other people trying to point out, like, the repeating in history and stuff. And the people are just so locked in. But that is the purging of the energy. That's the role they're here to play. So, even though it seems like, what? Why are you doing that? What is wrong with you? It's because it's like they're the ones who are purging out that energy. And so, anyways, it's always going to go the way it's going to go. And we're just along for the ride. You just got to buckle up. And it's the most important thing to me is just be healing your stuff, taking care of your stuff, and, you know, detoxing and getting all of this crap out of you, trying to get as much of the chemicals and stuff out of your life, setting yourself up with a healthy lifestyle where your focus is your health and what it is you need to stay healthy and good. And, you know, there's a lot of people out there who are going to go into crunch time and they're just going to be a mess. Like, there's going to be people who are overweight, who, like, if they don't have food, they're going to freak out. There's people who are overweight who, shit comes down, they won't be able to run. Like, I don't even know. I just feel like there's just going to be so many chaotic, crazy situations keep happening, and it all keeps happening to show a certain energy to direct us towards a more positive energy. So just notice those things. Just notice how things are playing out. Notice how we're being redirected by the universe, by purging out. Like, it's our own darkness. It's all the darkness that we've created and have been a part of and have turned a blind eye to. And so it all has to come out and move on, you know, get out. And so, anyways, just while all this is going on, just remember to love yourself and love everybody, and then have a loving day, loving night. Just love everybody. Love everybody, and I love you, and I'll talk to you later.